Hey there. Now, I'm willing to bet most of you don't know me. I'm not the best at PvP, PvM, or honestly any single aspect of RuneScape. But I do have a love for this game, and just like many of you, I've been playing it for a while now. Something that's always intrigued me has been niche or restricted accounts. Players going for max with no banks. Limited movement, going for one skill at a time, or even finishing out the entirety of the collection log. I think that's awesome. It's essentially a way to make the game new and exciting again, even if you have hundreds or even thousands of hours of playtime on this game. So I decided to try one for myself. But like I said, I'm not really good at anything. I've also never been particularly lucky. So I figured I might as well do the exact opposite. Get as few collection log slots as possible while I max on a hardcore on an Iron Man account. Originally, I attempted to be a purist, trying to max with truly zero collection log slots. But I found out the hard way that there's been some updates to a few skills. I did my first lap at the Gnome course, found my first log slot waiting for me, in the form of a Mark of Grace. Seems like there's some log slots that are just truly unavoidable, at least on an Iron Man account. So, from there, I decided I'd give myself a forfeit every 10 log slots. So far, here's what I have in mind. Now, of course, I'm open to suggestions. I'm sure the comments will have plenty of good ideas to make every log slot be just a little bit more bittersweet. Now, I didn't want to bore you with the basics you've seen a million times before. I chopped some logs, built some fires, and went and did the Winter Toad thing, before my hit points got too high. Unfortunately, that came with a few additional log slots. Right now, I'm at 9 slots, trying to dodge my 10th and my first forfeit. And that catches us up to the current day. The first major roadblock of the account, where I was just told by this wizard that he needs a Nature Talisman, an Irit Leaf, and an Avantoe. Now, nobody likes an Iron Man Herblore grind, but for my account, I was actually more worried about the Nature Talisman. It's easily obtainable by the Guardians of the Rift minigame, but to do that, I need a currency called Abyssal Pearls, which would be another log slot. That means the only way I can get this item is by killing monsters in the Abyss. Good news? They're not an absurd drop rate, about 1 in 128. Bad news, the only area I can access them is multi-combat, and these mobs hit like a truck. Guess it's time to train some combat stats. The quickest way to gain early combat levels is through questing, so I cranked out the Waterfall quest, Dragon Slayer, Witch's House, and a few other starter quests. After a total of 24 kills, I got spooned the drop. Side note, this is the first time on an Iron Man, and the dopamine rush I got from a Nature Talisman is wild. Anyways, it's finally time to finish out this quest and gain access to fairy rings. That's it for episode 1. Next episode, we're going to get some critical quality of life upgrades for the account. Or maybe we'll get sidetracked by our first forfeit.